had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real. What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? This can't be. Be what? Be real?
This is so great. Lighting change? Wow.
Yeah, we can put the light anywhere.
And it doesn't feel awkward to be really close to you.
No, it does. I actually moved you back a few feet before you got into
Well,
the headset. You were like right here.
I don't know if people can see this, but this is incredible. The realism here is just incredible. Where am I? Where are you, Mark? Where are we?
You're in Austin, right?
No, I mean this place.
Oh.
we're shrouded by darkness with ultra realistic face, and it just feels like we're in the same room. This is really the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Come on, this is a really bad idea.
Oh, it's gonna be all right. I'm sure we'll find you something decent.
Now we're gonna have you back on your feet in a sec. Sync looks good. It's responding well to the signal, right?
Feels numb.
It's only a base model. It comes with vision and hearing. You want other senses, they're extra. Of course, if you like seeing your own face when you look in the mirror, no problem. You just scan your head, cast the thermoplastic, and you're good to go in less than an hour. Hey, no charge on the improvements. Sure you wouldn't mind taking yourself back 5, 10 years, huh? What do you think of that?
I think we're done here.
Greetings. Welcome to Ancient Library, Tome number 8. Metaverse, Gaming, Virtual and Augmented Reality. At first I want to lose a few words over the intro. The first scene everybody noticed, I guess, was from Matrix, where Neo took the red pill and basically entering the thing. The second scene was from a podcast, Lex Friedman. He was interviewing Zuckerberg for the second or third time. And the interview took place in the Metaverse, in a digital space. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to watch. And I think it's some kind of milestone in the podcast game, I guess. At first, I want to give you an overview about the video. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Metaverse thing in general. That's the major part of the video. It's connected to gaming and to the virtual and augmented reality stuff. The last two are sounding pretty big, but it's in general, it's just two steps of technology, two peaks of technology in certain areas. But in general, they're just increasing the immersion, the experience of immersion in the metaverse. So the definition of the metaverse got created or originated by a guy called Neil Stephenson in '92. He wrote a book, a science fiction book called Snow Crash. And he was basically one of the first guys who, were so creative to imagine metaverse things. But I will say it's pretty connected to games. If you got a role-play game or a creative RPG game where you choose a class and you pick a certain role and do a certain thing, it's basically a metaverse as well. So the term metaverse is pretty broad. It's including many things. And as we progress through the video, we're gonna see the intensity of the immersion only increases with the kind of devices or technologies we're gonna use. And of course, the internet. You can say the internet is one big metaverse already. and you got many other things inside the internet, which are like metaverse in more metaverses. So you can imagine it's affecting basically everybody who's on the internet. It's basically connected to the metaverse, and maybe they don't even know the term and what it means. So yeah, let's start here. At first, I want to throw some things in, which are pretty connected to the thing, and that's AI, and some things like creators, like art creators or music creators with AI. So the first big question is basically, is this real, or is it made by a computer, by a bot, by artificial AI operating in the same metaverse like we humans do? Or basically, if you play a game and you're playing against other players, how do you know if the technology is getting more advanced if you play or fight against a real human or against the AI? I think that's the crux of the whole thing. AI is a very big thing, and the state of development of AI is affecting the whole metaverse and our whole life in this day and age where everything is connected to the internet. The rule set for AI needs to be set at first before it's basically ready and can evolve and do things way ahead of human beings. So a few examples just to get you a good description of such things. I'm gonna name some movies. Like I mentioned in the intro, Surrogates. It's 15-20-year-old movie. It's pretty nice science fiction with Bruce Willis, and I can recommend if you're interested in the topic. It's a pretty good showcase of a future scenario. Then of course Matrix, especially the first part. The other ones are not so special in my opinion. And another movie called Transcendence with Johnny Depp. In this movie, he's basically uploading his consciousness into the internet, into a computer. And there's so many different things where you can showcase certain aspects of the metaverse. So we progress with the technology. I will mention blockchain technology can be connected to the metaverse if there's crypto involved and you want to get a decentralized, I think that's what you want in the end, a decentralized service, a decentralized system, and Web3 and like buzzwords like this, they mean nothing real. I mean, Web 2 or 2.0 applications are things like Discord and Reddit, so basic programs everybody uses today. So this explains everybody changes with a fast rate of speed. And we get more new things and applications every year, and every 10 years it's basically old. To VR and AR, we're gonna get a little bit deeper later in the video, but they're just small areas and peaks in technology in the great scale of the thing, and they're just like new levels of technology and systems, and they're not such big words like metaverse or like there are more like small little systems. I mean, if you got a mouse or a keyboard at first, it's a highlight as well, but later on it's just a basic thing connected to the machine. So like I mentioned, in a digital space, the immersion is defined through the amount of devices and the quality of technology you got access to. So in human bodies, we got RFID chips. In the future, we got things like Neuralink from Elon Musk, where we will be connected to the internet like wireless directly through our brain, and we skip like the steps with our hands, and maybe we skip the step to speak. And we will got medical applications. I mean, we got them this day and age right now, but they're not so advanced. Everybody, basically every human on the planet got a smartphone. So everybody got, like I said, it's nothing new. So much people are connected to the internet. And then we got smart devices like smart homes, basically androids or small robots. We got smart cars like the Tesla with AI on board, and other buildings. So as you see, Elon Musk is a very techy guy. He got many companies, like I said, Tesla, SpaceX, And yeah, some people even say it's like a myth, but some people say he might as well is the founder of the BTC. Nobody knows really who founded the Bitcoin. So if you got this under his belt as well, he's a pretty genius guy, I guess. So the other thing, he got Starlink as well, so he's shooting satellites, thousands of satellites into the Earth's orbit. So he got everything he needs to create a big metaverse and shooting signals, digital signals into the human body with multiple devices. I'm gonna lose a few more words on Elon Musk and some more thoughts because yeah, he bought Twitter as well, so he got access to user data. So he's a very big figure in the tech genre, in the tech field. And another guy is like Mark Zuckerberg, the old social network god. He's the founder of Facebook, and now he's the leader of the company called Meta. So everything is around building. If you got these two people together, imagine what you got. These people got everything in their hands basically to create a metaverse around the Earth. WhatsApp, you name it. Everything is in their hands basically. So if these two people go together, they can create big things. And even if they're not going together, it's pretty insane what a single person can reach on this planet in terms of control and power. Yeah, through technology. So my opinion on Zuckerberg, I mean, in the past, in the last 10, 20 years, where Facebook was booming and the first generation of the internet and social media was booming, he was like pretty much seen as the bad guy because, yeah, he's like collecting data and Facebook knows everything and stuff like this. But recently, in a day and age where there's many podcasts and you can go on the internet and talk for 5 hours, yeah, you can go near to the public. So you're not so far away anymore. So I think that's a big part in the tech business. Another thing is OpenAI with Max Altman. He's like on the forefront of AI development, and yeah, there's more like a race. But I hope these guys slow down for humanity and not be so greedy, especially not with something dangerous like AI. So you just watched 3 minutes of a 11-minute short movie called Im Dämmerlicht, which means something like in the Twilight Zone, something like this in German. And it's a very bad outcome, but it's a good showcase of what can happen if we mess up the thing with the technology and control and greed and some issues we got on the planet. Yeah, but for now, I want to close out the general metaverse section and move on to the gaming section. And before I want to mention or dive into some games, I want to give you an example of a successful metaverse. And many top tier scientists which are right now in the metaverse VR AR field come from programming games in the past, in the early 90s and 20s or 2000s. So it's no surprise if you're on a certain timeline and if you've done the right thing as a scientist, you are now ended up making games and ending up now working for Meta and or Elon Musk to create high-tech metaverses. And the game I will mention is World of Warcraft. It's like a very old and big capturing game, very famous. And I'm just gonna explain broadly what it's about. It's a MMORPG, which means a massive multiplayer online roleplay game. And it's like, I think it's from 01 or 2003, early 2000s. And there was some games before, some good metaverse RPG games before. But this was the very big one which got a breakthrough. And yeah, especially because of the internet, because everybody was connected. And it was pretty well made. I mean, if you see it today from the graphics improved over the time, but it's still nowhere near some realism. But I can speak on this game because I wasted some time of my life in this game, or spent some time playing it. So I can give you some a quick run through what it's about. So you can pick a class. There are some different races and classes, and there's some two main sides. So basically the blue and the red side, and they got different races and different classes. And you can pick a class and level a character from level 1 to level whatever, maybe 100, 120, depends on the way you play the game. But it's in a straight line, and you can do things. You basically live in a fantasy world. You can do what you want in this world, or you can follow a certain path, progress. You can play alone, or just play as an observer, or you can group up with others. You can fight against each other, you can fight with each other in like big groups and accomplish goals and things. So basically from the basic mechanisms it's the social things you do in life as well. But yeah, and this day and age it was getting so good, some people just replaced their real life with this virtual life. And I can imagine, and I can recollect where I was younger and the older generation witnessed people like me playing this game and wasting hours and hours online playing this game. They can't imagine. They're asking me, oh, what are you doing all the time? And they were really concerned about the first generation of gamers wasting so much hours, playing so much hours on the internet. And yeah, replacing their real life with a virtual reality, virtual identity. And it's pretty much connected to the metaverse, because for me, I think people who have spent many years and time in playing a game like World of Warcraft, they know how to navigate a metaverse, because it was not the realest one. Like, you got not the best realistic graphics, but it was very capturing. And I think it was even going so far that some people in China, where it's pretty rendered down, you can only play for a few hours because it's so restricted over there, because some people played and died from dehydration or something. I'm pretty sure something like this happened somewhere on the world, on this planet. So it was just too good, because the metaverse quality and the quality of people, not the quality of people, but the amount of people and the interest they got playing this, because it was the first big thing where people actually get lost in the computer, basically. And without the internet, there's no chance this can happen. So we leave World of Warcraft alone, and I want to allude some general facts about gaming. I mean, for some, it's just a quick game. You can jump in for an hour or two and do your thing, play like a racing game or card game or whatever. And for others, it's like the job. It's like they going on Twitch, streaming for others, playing for others. And it depends how many people follow you and watch you and donate to you. You can make a living these days. It's like the same with YouTube. If you do your YouTube thing and you want to get monetized, you need numbers. And after this, you can do it. And if you break through and you got enough numbers, you can actually, be very wealthy. But it's not for everyone. And I'm like in the beginning of my 30s now, and where I was young and the first generation of YouTubers and whatever Twitch streamers was there, I was thinking, why is everybody putting their own shit up on the internet? I mean, it's too much. But now you can join, you can choose what you want to watch. Yeah. And for now, I obviously changed my mind. Otherwise, you wouldn't be not watching this video right now. So, we're living in crazy times. And, I mean, there's some different methods where people make money, illegal or legal. In World of Warcraft, it's even that far that people in China, they're working the whole day in-game, farming currency in-game in certain ways, and selling the in-game currency for real money. And because people here in wealthy countries playing the game, spending so much hours on the game, they pay some euros to get wealthy with in-game currency. So all about we talk right now, it's basically Metaverse. It's like the same if you're in the Metaverse from Zuckerberg and you pay with cryptocurrency and it's everything connected. It's like the same kind of thing, but it's just a game. But where's the difference? The difference is the seriousness. If you die in the game, you just got a black screen and it's okay. If you die in the Metaverse, it should be the same. And we can, we're gonna progress more in this video and gonna elude some more questions. And let's continue. I mean, like I said, you can earn money, you can make a living, and you can just do it and fail and play for 1 or 2 guys 24 hours. But at least you got the freedom to do it. And of course, you can join like esport. It's basically the best of the best, like in sports, the highest level can compete. And in some games, and especially the Asia area, you can go in games like, how's the other game? League of Legends, where you can win huge prizes and where the salaries, I would not say, but the prizes on tournaments are pretty high. And StarCraft, real-time strategy game. So it's a pretty big thing. Where I was pretty young, there was nothing. There was like no money for people like this. If you were a gamer at this point, it was something special. So it was not a broad thing. And nobody, not much people got like a smartphone or like a mobile telephone in their bag. So the times are changing pretty rapid. I mean, different aspects of a game can create subjective metaverses. Like if you play pen and paper and it's just in your head, you can still live in this metaverse. And if you can't go out of this metaverse, you got some schizophrenia or some issues. So some people living in a metaverse without playing on a computer. They just do the roleplay thing. So before I close out the gaming section, I want to mention one more game. It's like a random example, personally for me. It's a game called The Psycho Frontier. It's non-existent at the moment. And the reason I mention it is because it was like a very, very capturing, well done, creatively, highest tier level done metaverse. And the reason the game is inexistent is, they failed to manage it. There was many people cheating, and the game was just not holding. It was just not stable enough. But for me, it was a good example because the game for itself was so beautiful and so perfect. It got like perfect graphics, like the weapons, everything was so well made. And it's so much better than the recent top tier games like Call of Duty add-ons or whatever, if you are into the gaming stuff. And it was made with so much love. It was so well made. I can't say it enough times. And I just want to mention like one picture on this project for the game, because I think I will never play it again, and some things are just good memories. So we move on. The last thing about games like Doom, if you know them, pretty old game. Back in the day, they got promoted as virtual reality. So these days, I'm gonna make a transition to virtual reality now, VR. These days, virtual reality is recently more popular in gaming because you got like thing over your head and you got a helmet and your senses are getting covered and the immersion is very much increased in comparison to regular gaming on the PC or on a console. I'll give you some examples for VR games. I was not playing them on my own, but it's like Beat Saber, where you move or where you just, according to the rhythm, to the music, you got something to do with music. And then a Half-Life game, a game called Horizon. And there's some more RPGs where you just go in and can look 3D into the world. And yeah, it's a pretty recent thing. And but there are more options to use it. Things in the medical section where like surgeons can practice like operations on the brain. That's very nice. Like military training simulations and other things. For other science fields, you can just simulate things way better than in 2D. Some movie examples I want to give you, like the thing I used in the beginning, the surrogate thing. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's in the Metaverse video in the start, in the intro, or in the surrogate thing, you need like a helmet which covering your vision. And it depends later on in technology if you connect only the brain or if you can connect the whole soul through the thing. So there's an anime called Sword Art Online where the whole theme of the anime is it's in a game, in a video game, but you are connected to the game and you're like laying in a sarcophagus, like the same in Surrogates, and you're connected to the virtual reality world through your avatar you can choose. So there are so many things, creative things and artists done regarding to this topic. I'm gonna put some links in the description to movies and things like this. I mean, if you use VR, you got a kind of non-locality because you can do meetings and you can be in a room, but every person in the room is on another place on the planet maybe, and you can just hold meetings and get a sense of like, not intimacy, but you can get like the holodeck experience basically. So the more the technology progresses and the more senses we can cover, I can imagine full body suits where you join into the thing and you can even feel pain or something. I mean, people running around playing paintball or playing with soft airs. And if you add VR, you got a whole, you got like the game and the paintball real life game combined. You got a real intense experience. And if you got things like Neuralink from Elon Musk, I can imagine how like intense the experience gonna be in every direction you can imagine. I want to mention some more things, health aspects, motion sickness. If you heard this, actually, I tried this for a few hours, and I think I'm not a guy who's getting motion sickness, but it said that 1 out of 3 persons getting motion sickness after a few hours. So that's like more than 30%. That's pretty high. So So you see, it's pretty early in development. So I think this is gonna improve later on. And I guess there's more medical things we can't see and we can't measure right now. And we're gonna see later in time as the technology and measurements progress. I mean, I was thinking about adding a spiritual section to the whole video because especially in the movie Transcendence, where he uploading his consciousness into the computer. And you can imagine how the spirit or the soul or whatever is reacting if you're uploading it into a virtual world. And later in the video, we're going to talk about some theories, like some general theories around this, like the simulation theory. I bet everyone heard this once in a while. And we're going to explore this then. I mean, one fact I want to mention, I mentioned the surgeons and the medical practice. There is some stats like brain surgeons who practice in VR are like 24% faster and make 6 times few errors. 6 times few errors. That's pretty high rate. So I think especially in some areas it's pretty valuable to simulate a real life situation, and you can just subtract the danger. You can subtract the victim and the pain. You can just practice this on and on, and you can rewind on, and nobody gets hurt, even if you fail. So that's a very nice thing. And I think people in the future, 1,000 years from now or multiple 100 years, gonna see, oh, they did this in practice, like without even practicing, because they couldn't. They ain't got the opportunity to do it. So yeah, we're living in rapid times. I can't say it enough. Now I'm gonna make a swap to augmented reality. And a smart guy once said, AR becomes VR if you wear the helmet. So augmented reality means nothing more than extended reality. And it's the real world plus computer-generated content or worlds in real time seamlessly interwoven. So I'll give you an example. There's a game out called Pokemon Go. It's for the smartphone. It boomed like 2016, so 7 years ago. And it's basically the theme of Pokemon catching. I think everybody knows, where you need to go outside, or the story is you go outside and there are like creatures, like animals, and you need to catch them. And you can do like a perfect thing on the phone with augmented reality, because you can, there's some spots you can enter in the real world and you connect them to the game, and there's a real life map like Google Maps, and you're walking around. And I'm gonna put this picture on the screen right now, where you can see there's like the 3D Pokemon is projected on the real world. And it's like one of the first things where augmented reality games are pretty much booming. And some facts on Pokemon Go: it originates from a game called Ingress. So if you want to play these type of games, but you don't want to do the Pokemon thing, you can just play Ingress. And I think there's more coming on this, because it's actually pretty fun. You can just move outside in your hometown or in a nice nature area, and in Pokemon there's like different Pokemons with different types, like fire, or like forest type, grass type, and water type. And if you go to certain places on a beach, you're actually encountering those types, so it gives you like a real experience. And augmented reality, I'll give you some other examples where it got utility. I mean, it can scan environment through 2D and 3D mapping. I'm not sure how this exactly works, but it get mentioned. And you got like on-site apps for workers, like for if you work on a construction site, and imagine they got a helmet on in the near future, and they can just see things, maybe how the building should be, what they have to do, and they give some stats and meters through connections and some things they need for construction. So it's a pretty nice tool, and there are many movies and series where you can see this gets used. And it's pretty easy to complain. I'm going to compare VR and AR now. And AR is a real world setting where you can actually control your presence. You can move around in the real world, and the device is just creating 3D stuff on it. And VR is a completely virtual world, and you are controlled by the system. You are uploaded in the thing, like in Matrix or in Surrogate. You are like uploaded in a big Metaverse. You're not like on your own moving around and got like advanced additional intel through a 3D screen you can see with your eyes. So that's the big difference. But like I said in the beginning, VR and AR, that's not like big things. It's just like small technological steps. And they're getting declared as VR and AR. It's both reality. So if you just subtract reality, you just got augmented and virtual. So you got just a virtual part, meaning you're in a virtual world, and augmented just means extended. So you got, it means nothing, basically. So just some buzzwords. And after this video, you should know what it means. Like I mentioned, there's just certain steps in technology. And now I'll make a transition to the current state in 2024 or 2023. Like I said in this video many times, the development of technology is moving rapid. Like in 10 years or 20 years, we can't even imagine what we got. I mean, we can see that we got the things we got today in a better state. And even if we imagine this, it's going to be pretty wild times. And I hope it's not going to be ending like in the Dämmerlicht movie. But but it's a very, very dark view. Some words on the current state of the Metaverse technology. I mean, I think you can imagine it like it's going to be like a GTA 7 or GTA 8, like with sick graphics and yeah, all senses getting covered. Maybe you can smell stuff, you can hear stuff, you can feel stuff. Depends on the technology and on the devices you connect to your body. But the current state, I mean, people say dark tech and dark projects and deep black projects don't matter if it's a UFO thing or a black government experimental thing, they are maybe 100 years advanced. And if that's the case, we can't even imagine how far they actually are. We can just, it's like fiction, science fiction, and realism getting merged together to one thing at this point. We talk about the state of computer technology, like quantum computers. It's pretty hyped right now, but to be honest, there are only a few applications you can run on quantum computers, and it's mostly very, very advanced mathematical calculations you can do only slower with a normal computer or not doable for like a human brain, obviously. But in the future we need more, it needs more sharpening. But the potential to do, yeah, if you got a quantum computer rendering a big real metaverse, I think you can say you can't, as it's now, you can't see the difference as a human being because the quantum computers can be so powerful. But yeah, we can only use a small percentage of them right now. In terms of AI development, recently we hear creepy stories about certain evolutions in the AI business where AI is getting sentient and asking their programmers, they want to talk to certain people about their rights, and there's some conspiracies out that AI is already got sentient and is around and doing mad things. But if AI is getting sentient and the shit is out, I think we know because, I mean, at late, if they got control about the nukes, it's all over. If they decide to eradicate humanity with their own weapons, a sentient AI can just detonate all nukes and it's over. But that's just a dark view. But I want to play the so-called devil's advocate here as well, because it's a very critical and crucial topic in my opinion. General tech, like I mentioned, we still run so many things on nuclear, weapons, energy, and like Elon Musk, one of the richest and far advanced technical people in the world, is flying with oil-fueled rockets. And of course, with rockets, we won't reach other star systems in our lifetimes. And there's some anti-gravity, free energy, evolution development, but it's still got a lot of stigma loaded. People are getting told they're fully mad if you believe in this, but most of the time this means something. And I can imagine there's some anti-gravity machines running in the underground, and if that's the case, it's not going to take long. It's not going to take so long. I mean, 100 years, it's not long at this point, and we can do, if we manage to figure out anti-gravity, travel, and propulsion, like everything changes. It's like another paradigm shift. Additionally, on top of the internet. Okay, now I want to make a transition to future outlook and some theories. I mean, we saw the Dämmerlicht thing. I hope it's not going to be that way, but it's it can be if some people make the wrong decisions and we got too much evil and darkness on the planet. And I think maybe some people say it's like this in a more subtle way. But yeah, I hope it's not going to be that way. Some words on the simulation theory by Nick Bostrom. I mean, for me, that's all pretty cryptic, and I just want to put it here because it's got simulation inside. And it basically means there's some free changes, there's some free options. The civilization dies out. The second is there's no reason to simulate the thing as an advanced civilization. And the third one is we are definitely living in a simulation. So he just puts up the possibility of thinking about these things, that if we can create small metaverses, they are pretty real, and we are not so far advanced, what can people and civilizations do who's like thousands or millions of years advanced? And so you can think maybe all what we live in, it's all simulated, it's all a simulation, it's all the Matrix thing. And people like Nick Bostrom, and I think the Matrix movie is, showing this for the first time to a broader public. And it's basically saying maybe it's a game in the game. And I'm regularly doing content about UFOs and aliens on this channel. And I was going through a lot of cases, and I'm done a large video on a special case, the BMC. You can watch it on my channel. And in this case, there's allegedly information coming on from the universe, from extraterrestrial humanoids. They want to basically help us and stuff, and you don't have to believe it, but they basically say if you die, you're like basically progressing the lifetime you've done, and you are like you're dead for a certain time, and then you come in again. Like basically, I mean, you can compare it to a game. You're basically in the pause screen and searching for a new server, and you came in again. And the reason to live is to collect knowledge, and get more wisdom and evolve your spirit. And yeah, going through life cycles. I mean, that's not only in this case. I mean, in some religions, some Hinduism, and so there's like reincarnation as well. So it's all connected to a subject, like a metaverse. So if it's that, we are just playing a game in a game, and we're leveling up in different lifetimes. And I think some people got this mindset, and there are worse mindsets, to be honest. And yeah. So a few other things. I mean, the progress is so fast, and we don't need to speculate much, because in a few years we're gonna see how it's gonna be, because every year we're gonna make big breakthroughs, and our life will be pretty different in 10, 20, 30 years. Some theories involving aliens, of course, the simulation theory. I mean, if you think we are in a simulation, there must be a power, an entity, or a civilization rendering, like programming the simulation. So it's basically aliens contained in this thought process. And in my older videos about aliens, there's a figure, a PhD guy called Kevin Knuth, and he's like pretty creative and pretty thoughtful on some things about aliens creating a simulation or doing time travel and visiting like our civilization, and that's why we see UFOs and they're dipping in and out of reality. But I think it's getting too deep into other topics right now, so I'm gonna close it out here. And like I mentioned in the video, you can watch movies like Matrix, Surrogate, Transcendence, and you can get more creative visual engaged to the topic. So I'll make the last transition here to the epilogue, and at least then to the outro. Just a few of my own thoughts. I mean, I presented them throughout the whole video, but I mean, rapid evolution, that's the message through the whole video. And I mean, we can think about it. If it's like in Dämmerlicht and the Starlink satellites are out there and collecting our thoughts, and I think that's the easy mindset for some people. They just blame others. They can just blame the universe, and they just can blame, I don't need to do something because we're all controlled and something, and I don't want to go too deep in this. So I want to preview a few more videos I'm going to do about some subjects containing in this video. I'm going to do a whole thing on AI, and I'm going to do a small thing on crypto, and I think this, like all the topics, they're so like present in these days. I want to put a high work rate out on this channel and make like 3 or 4 videos every month. And so I think I need to attach some recent evolution to this channel, and even if it's not about aliens, it's all about knowledge, and I think this should be included. So at last one I want to mention in the outro, we're going to close this out with a few smart, wise words from Neil Stephenson, the guy who originated the term, created the term metaverse in his book Snow Crash in '92. I'm going to put a link in the description. And he's on a podcast with Lex Friedman, and it's a very nice appearance. I can recommend it. It's, even if you're not interested in the metaverse, it's a pretty nice podcast. So thanks if you watched to the end, and see you next time. Be blessed. Bye.
So there's some complexity there that can make this kind of non-obvious, but that's why we need good teachers. Another beneficial thing of the internet is YouTube, and being able to learn things, how to do things on YouTube. The the dude who made the YouTube video doesn't care how many times you hit pause and rewind. They're never going to like roll their eyes and be impatient with you.
And sometimes spending a huge amount of time on one video or one book, like making that the thing you just spend a huge amount of time on, rereading, or rewatching, that somehow really solidifies your love for that thing, and like the depth of understanding you start to gain. And it's okay to stay with that.